St. Luke's Gospel lesson for Passion Sunday says the apostles threw their cloaks over the colt and helped Jesus to mount. As he rode along, the people spread their cloaks on the road. Okay? So the people threw a bunch of old clothes on the road as Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the Sunday before his crucifixion on Friday. What's the big deal? Why did St. Luke even mention what they did for Jesus? And what did all this have to do with Jesus' passion? Here's the big deal, friends. These clothes were the single most important item in their very limited wardrobes. For most of the people of the land, a cloak was the most expensive garment they possessed. In fact, for the poorest of the poor, a cloak was more than an article of clothing. Sometimes it was where they lived. They would sit by the road or against a building at night, pull their wool cloaks over their heads, and sleep under them. Let's take note of the fact that they threw their homes under the feet of Jesus' donkey as a sign of joy and respect for something they really didn't understand that well. Call them the holy poor. There are still many places in the world where the holy poor exist. They live in and under their cloaks, if they even have cloaks. But St. Luke's holy poor gave the most expensive garments they had in honor of a man whose mission most of them misunderstood. They just knew Jesus from some of the stories circulating around Jerusalem for the past few years. They knew he had a special compassion for them. They knew also he hated the priests and the money changers in the temple who made impossible demands on them and cheated them out of every dime they had in the name of serving God. So they put their cloaks on the road before one they believed knew God in a different way than the priests and money changers. They just wanted to let him know they welcomed him. Jay Cormier, who writes for Connections, a monthly newsletter of ideas for priests and liturgists, says, "To be disciples of Jesus is to put aside our cloaks of comfort and self-absorption, to embrace a spirit of humility and selflessness, to empty ourselves of our pride and wants and needs in order to become vessels out of which pour God's life and love." The holy poor of Jesus' day gave God's Messiah the most important and costly treasure they had as a sign of love and respect for a God they barely understood. Thanks to the false shepherds who misled them spiritually and the money-grubbing money changers who took what few pennies they had to give most of it to the temple treasury and to Rome. But let us never forget, Jesus said, "Inasmuch as you did it unto one of the least of these, you did it unto me." One of the ways we can forget ourselves and give to Jesus today is to give to the holy poor who are all around us, even in Northeast Georgia. Waiting for Uncle Sam to take care of them is simply a lost cause. That's like waiting for the priests and money changers at the temple to take care of the holy poor in Jesus' day. Giving to sharing and caring, which feeds the hungry and clothes the naked. Give to Grace Gate in Habersham or to the Free Clinic in White County, both of which provide medical care to people who can't afford care for chronic medical conditions. Buy some toys for kids next Christmas through our very own toy ministry. Start going through your closets now to find some old coats you don't need that might be given to our coat closet next fall when the temperatures start dropping again. Cast your cloaks before the Lord. In the end, you only retain what you give away. Amen. Please stand for the offertory hymn.